Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to make seitan. This recipe will be made for two different meals. One of them will be for sandwich meat and the other one will be a curry style meat. So what we need is Vital Wheat Gluten, some quinoa flour, bouillon, onion, cooking oil, liquid aminos, onion powder, black pepper, garlic powder, smoked paprika, and of course garlic. And then we need 8 cups of water to cook the seitan in. So let's get started. Let's begin. I got 8 cups of water. Turn the temperature on high. Add 1 onion. Doesn't have to be cut finely. We just leave it in chunks. I'm also going to add 3 cubes of garlic. We are also adding 1 tablespoon of Better than bouillon. And this is strictly optional. Some hot peppers. My husband likes his food very spicy, so I always add hot peppers. But if you do not like spice, don't worry about it. Don't put it in. Then we are adding 2 tablespoons of neutral oil. Okay, we put the lid on and wait for it to boil. I almost forgot. I have to add the liquid aminos as well. Okay, so now everything is in here that we need. Okay, let's get the seitan ingredients together. We are using 2 cups of Vital Wheat Gluten, 1 tablespoon of quinoa flour, 1 teaspoon onion powder, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 teaspoon smoked paprika, and black pepper to taste. We'll mix this up. You see me wearing gloves because seitan can be very sticky. So I always wear gloves when I make seitan. So we're making sure all of the ingredients are mixed together. And then we start adding water. I start with a cup. We might need more. So we pour the water in. And you can see the seitan is starting to form as you pour in the water. You have to knead the dough and probably have to add more water as we go because you don't want to put too much water in at first because you don't want the seitan to be runny. So as you can see, we're going to need more water. So let me get a little more filtered water. And we add a little bit at a time. You can see those forming really nice. So this is probably all the water I need, because we don't want to put too much water in here. So this is what the dough looks like. Seitan, when you make it, is very sticky. So when you have to cut it or divide it, it tends to stick together. Okay, you see this? How you can stretch the dough? This is what you want. You want the dough to stretch out nicely without breaking. The water is almost boiling, and then we can start getting this in the boiling water. The water is boiling and the seitan is ready to be sliced. It is a very sticky dough. So when you slice it, you will notice that the dough wants to stick together. So we just dump it into the boiling water. We're going to use some that we're stretching. For sandwich meat. And if it tears, it doesn't really matter. It can be wholly. We're going to do 5, 6, 7 pieces for sandwich meat. So we stretch it. I don't have that cutting board sitting here evenly. That's why it makes the noise when I cut, because it's wobbly. So another piece and one more for good measures. Whee! But this one tore up more. All right. Now the other ones I am just going to cut into cubes. All the seitan is in the pot and it's boiling. We are going to bring the heat down to medium high, put the lid on, and cook it for about 20 to 25 minutes. I'll be back to check on it in that time. It's been 25 minutes and this is what the seitan looks like after being cooked for 25 minutes. Oopsie, there we go. Everything puffed up nicely. And now we can go ahead and start pan frying the lunch meat. I'll be right back. I got to get the frying pan ready. The oil is warm, so we add just a little bitty salt to the hot oil. And then we will place the larger pieces to the hot oil. Oh, I made too many. There we go. So these are the larger pieces that I stretched to put on a sandwich roll later, or in a lettuce wrap or anything. You can add barbecue sauce, you can add steak sauce. You basically can add anything you like. It's your preference. I probably leave them just plain, so whatever my husband wants to put on them later, he can put on it. Now let's let them cook undisturbed for a couple of minutes and then we turn them. Let's check what it looks like. You see how it has a nice little crisp. We're going to turn them over. Some of them stick. Okay, so this is what it looks like after being pan fried for about 3 minutes or so. I'm going to turn this heat down a little bit so they don't burn, and we check it again in a couple of minutes. It's been a couple of minutes and it looks like it's done. Turn this off and transfer the lunch meat, as I call it, to a plate. Seitan is very sticky, and even though this is a non-stick frying pan, it still will stick, but that's okay. So this is what it looks like, and you can serve this on some bread, on a roll, in a lettuce wrap, anything you like. You can even serve it in a burrito wrap and doctor it up with anything you like. I will make a sandwich for my husband, and let's see what he wants on it. Okay, so the husband decided he wanted barbecue, so we're adding the meat, seitan meat, back into the frying pan and add a little barbecue sauce to it. We prefer this barbecue sauce because there's no sugar added and it has a really nice flavor. But you can use any barbecue sauce you want. So we're gonna let that cook just for a little bit. Add a little more barbecue sauce on this side. Add a little drop of water. And let it simmer for a couple of minutes. Okay, so here we go. The seitan is done. It absorbed all the liquid. Barbecue sauce is on there. Now to assemble the sandwich. Ooh, we're using mustard. My husband does not like mayonnaise, so we are using mustard on both sides. Gonna add some lettuce. I have somebody sitting next to me that wants the bag, but he's not getting any of this. We're gonna add some sliced tomatoes. And now to add the seitan. Let's do it like so. I'm gonna have 3 nice sized pieces. We are adding some pickled onions. Gotta get a fork. Add some pickled onions. You can have nothing, sweetie. Then we add in some pickled jalapenos for that extra kick. This is a really crunchy roll. I put it in the air fryer to make it extra crispy. I don't know, my husband, he likes crunchy, crunchy bread. Not that crunchy, but crunchy. There we go. So, this is what the sandwich looks like. And I am going to bring it to him and see what he thinks. And now to making the curry. For this, we are using garam masala, some turmeric, curry, cumin, coriander, diced tomatoes, bouillon, Himalayan pink salt, black pepper, some frozen peas. I have some coconut milk that I had in the freezer, and I'm going to cook it in a wok. Yes, I said wok. I don't want my pots to stain from the curry because it can stain your pots and pans something awful. That's why I'm using the wok. So let's get started. I'll mix all of the seasoning together. And as always, I will put the recipe in the link below in descriptions. So for the seasoning, we are using 1 teaspoon garam masala, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of coriander, and 2 teaspoons of curry powder. You can use any curry powder you like. I use Quinoa curry. And for the aromatics, we're using garlic and ginger. Let's heat up the wok. It's an electric wok, so I put it on number 2. I'll add two tablespoons of neutral oil. Now we are adding the garlic. I use 1, 2, 3, and 2 gingers. Come on, this one doesn't want to come out. There we go. 2 gingers. I will add the seasoning. Stir it around so it doesn't burn. And then I will add the seitan with everything, the onions that are in here, the hot peppers. And we will use this broth in the curry for flavor. All right, I need let's let this cook for a couple of minutes and I'll be right back. So it's been a couple of minutes. Let's add the stewed tomatoes. We are going to add some bouillon, much as you like. I use about 2 teaspoons, make it 3, of bouillon. Some freshly ground black pepper. Oh, I moved the lid. I was wondering why nothing came out. I am so goofy sometimes. There we go. A pinch of salt. And then we add the broth from when we cooked the seitan. We're going to bring that to a boil. Then we put the lid on and cook it for approximately 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long it will be for the liquid to boil down a little bit. So might have to turn it up just a notch so it comes to a boil, so we can cover it up. It's starting. Okay, it's starting to boil. So we put the lid on and we turn it back down to 2 and let it cook. Let's try 5 minutes first. Okay, so let's see. We're going to add the frozen peas. You can also, if you like, add potato to this, but we had a lot of potatoes the last couple of weeks, so my husband's gonna have quinoa with it. I have some in the freezer that I cooked previously. I'll just take one out and let it defrost, and then he can have that on top of the quinoa. You can also serve that on rice if you prefer rice. We very, very seldom eat rice. And now we're just going to add that frozen coconut milk. Just like this. And we're going to let that cook for a little while until the coconut milk is melted and all of the flavors are in the seitan. Going to add a little more black pepper to it. You can also add some cilantro or lime if you have it. I don't have any in the house right now, so no cilantro and lime this time. So let that cook up for a little bit and I'll check it in a couple of minutes. The curry's been cooking and bubbling for about 7 minutes or so. We're turning off the heat. Put the lid on and just let it sit for about 10-15 minutes. And then I put it in containers for the refrigerator and the freezer. Now to put the curry into dishes for storage. By the way, the husband really liked that sandwich. He gave it a 9.5 for sure. He said it reminded him of a real deli sandwich. Plus, he likes his bread crunchy. So, here we go. We're going to so curry you can put in the freezer. It freezes very well. So if you don't want to eat it all, save it for some other time when you don't have time to cook. I am not particularly fond of curry, but the husband loves it. That's why I make it so spicy too, because I'm not going to eat any of it. And I guess it's one more. And you can serve this with rice, quinoa, any other grain you like. I have some einkorn in the pantry, which is really good too. Or some fricke. You can cook that. I even heard somebody say they eat pasta with the curry, which to everybody likes what they like. So here we go. We're going to put every drop of this sauce on there. And voila. So the curry is in the containers for storage. We're going to put 3 in the freezer and keep 2 out. Then we have some more leftover of the sandwich meat that's made out of the seitan for another day. So here is all of the goodness. All right, so this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I always add new videos to my channel. And as always, I will put the recipe in the description box. So if you want to make this seitan, you have all of the ingredients that you need. So I bid you goodbye. Bon Appetit, guten Appetit, auf Wiedersehen, bye.